Vasily, I'd like you to meet Brian Jeffries,
How are you, Vasily?
I'm very well, mate. Yourself?
Good, thanks.
That's the go. Thank you, Kevin. Now, your profession?
Process engineering.
Yes. What do you do as an engineer? Do you actually just monitor it all, or do you create the whole system?
No, I actually built the system.
Did
I
you?
helped design the system too.
Wow.
And I help in the operation of the system.
Okay. So, and it's all working well to your initial design?
It's working beautifully.
Yeah.
Our power consumption is down 20% of what was forecast.
Fantastic.
Yes.
And your output is increasing and improving, obviously?
It is, and the quality is to the compost quality is to the Australian standard, 4454.
I've heard that number before. I'm learning it, 4454.
That's
now,
right.
Kevin brought me around here to show me the fans. These are the fans that blow the air into the vents, is that
Yes,
correct?
well, basically, Vasily, we've got, we recycle the air from the top of the tunnel inside the bioreactor, tunnel bioreactor, and then pump it through the floor, through these manifolds, and that keeps the oxygen rate up for the thermophilic activity. As the cells break down, they create a leachate which drains back in an in-ground process water tank, and then periodically we recycle that water back on top of the heap to maintain the moisture level in there.
Okay, so as I was telling Kevin earlier, this is just like a huge compost bin.
It is, but it's under a controlled environment where all the walls in the reactor are 200 mil thick concrete, and where all we're doing is providing the proper environment for the thermophilic microbe to do its job.
Okay, thermophilic microbe, explain what that is.
Well, it's the composting microbe that generates the heat. Typically, if you put grass in a heap outside, you see it'll get hot.
Yes. That's
the particular microbe. It becomes active at about 44 degrees, and it really is converting the carbon fraction into organic, all organic material.
So you've got a balance of green organics, and you've got some dries in there too for the carbon materials.
The carbon to nitrogen ratio is set in there.
All right, so we've got the air being circulated back through. We've got the moisture going through. Now from there, you've got a big heap just over here behind this wall here. Hey, check this out. So what do you got here, man?
Well, this is a biofilter, Vasily.
Yeah, what do you mean a biofilter? It just looks like a heap of compost.
Yeah, right. Part of our EPA requirements on our licence is we have to purify the air before we release it to atmosphere. It's an aerobic system.
Oh, aerobic, so you're getting a lot of air in there.
We're getting the air into it.
Yeah, so that doesn't build
methane is produced when at an anaerobic process, when you're not getting enough air in it.
Okay, so that's why the air's in there. And now the air that comes out of there...
It's got to be deodorised before it is released to atmosphere.
Okay, and how do you do that?
Well, we've got compost over the top there, but underneath here is a cavity. Yeah. And there is a microbe at a lower temperature which deodorises the air before it is released to...
So this compost isn't all the way down, there's a hole inside like a platform or a deck or something going on?
Yeah, this is the compost is about 1.2 metres high. Yeah. Underneath there is about a cavity of another metre high.
Okay. Okay, and then the air gets pumped in there. And you're telling me the compost actually filters all the carbon?
Yes, it's a microbe that actually takes out the odour.
Wow.
It lives in the compost facility. There's one thing I forgot to mention inside these tunnel bioreactors. That another benefit of them is that the temperature gradients, which you'd normally have in open window composting, which is hot in the middle, cool outside, it's constant in there. Yes. So we can take it to any temperature to sterilise any harmful pathogens or propagals, weed seeds and the like at nice high temperatures.
So you've got full control of the environment that builds up inside there.
Yeah.
You can cool it off, heat it up, keep the moisture in, the air circulation to the right levels.
That's right.
To create the optimal temperature and environment so compost can be made more efficiently.
Just for the microbe.
For the microbes,
because
that's what we're concentrating on here. There's a different microbe in here to what it is outside there?
Yeah, this one doesn't give off heat.
Yes.
But it takes out the odour.
Nice water tank you got here, mate.
Yeah, Vasily, this is the recycle system. Yeah. So all the leachate that drains out from the bioreactors ends up in this 22 kilolitre tank underground. Yeah. And then periodically it's pumped back and recycled to maintain the moisture in the compost.
And this is automated basically, everything?
The whole process is automated. We have fibre optics going to a a process computer in the office there, and what that enables us to do is control it remotely or locally, and also it gathers information which is required for our 3 certifications that we've got. We're the only composting facility in Australia to have the 3 standards: environmental management system, occupational health and safety, and the quality certification.
You got a dam too.
We actually collect all the rainwater here. We don't have to bring any water in from anywhere else.
How lucky are you, mate? Has it been raining in Shepparton or what? I'm actually amazed you're not flooded out here.
Might be very soon.
Yeah, it's a bit like that, is it? So what are you telling me? You're not buying in any water or anything like that?
No, we don't have to get town water brought in or anything like that, and we recycle it through the plant so it gets reused again and again.
Hey Kevin, what's he doing?
One of the boys is actually unloading a tunnel. It's been in there for 2 weeks and it's ready to come out now.
Okay, so this is the compost or the green organics. It's gone into the tunnel 2 weeks ago. Like we saw earlier. Yeah.
That's exactly what it looks like in 2 weeks'
Look
time.
how hot that is.
It's been treated.
Alright, so there's a little bit of excess moisture there, but that's nothing to worry about. So now he's just got to dig it out.
That's right.
Wow! I've been to so many homes and I've seen so many compost bins in people's backyards, and it looks like this sometimes, wet, sludgy, but when you go up to it really close and you try to smell it, it stinks. This stuff is clean, man. I can't smell anything in it. So this is what you're talking about, the aerobic formation by pushing air into it and moisture and controlling the environment. No smell.
No smell whatsoever. It has a very pleasant organic smell.
It has. You wouldn't believe it, folks. If you have a look at this, you think this is like slurry and it's like gone off. It's anaerobic. You know, when your compost bins get too much moisture inside and they don't breathe well, it starts to get all the bad pathogens developing, and the bad odours is something that you don't want happening in your composting. Now, you guys create the same sort of environment, well, finished product, not environment, but you create that environment that makes it look like that, but it doesn't smell. Now this, for me, I'd be throwing this out. That's what it looks like, but this is ready to go out there in a heap. What are you doing with it now?
Well, actually, we let it sit for another 4 weeks and it will dry out slightly.
Yeah?
And we get a large industrial shredder in and we'll shred up to 1,500 tonnes at a time.
Oh, all right. And then after that, it becomes your organic mulch, a
Yes.
different grade that you can use in the gardens.
Well, it'll go to another section where we'll put it through our trommeling plant,
All right.
which refines it.
All right,
We'll
let's
actually
not
have a
wait-
look at that.
Let's not waste any more time. Get it out of here.
It'll then get shredded and put into another pile, and then it'll go through our trommel machine.
A trommel, is that what you said?
A trommel.
A trommel, what does that do?
It basically screens the products into 2 different sizes.
Okay.
We have a 20mm product, which we sell directly to like landscapers and so forth.
Yep.
And we have what we call our overburn, which
Yep.
we sell to orchardists that'll use it for planting trees in.
You can plant straight into that almost, couldn't you?
You could.
Yeah.
Best to actually blend it with the soil so
Yeah.
you've got more of an organic content through it.
Okay. And how long does this stuff here last for? How quick do you turn all this over?
That pile behind there is 3 months worth of shredding,
Yeah.
and this here is probably only about 1 month worth of full finished product. And this will actually go out the gate within the next 2 weeks, this big pile.
Amazing stuff, and this is what everybody should be doing, recycling. If they can't do it at home themselves, obviously, if they haven't got the facility or the space to be able to compost their own properly, aerobic style that is, they can bring it to a place like here. You know, put it in the green bins, get it taken down here, and they can rest assured that it's actually going to get recycled into an organic mulch, which they can then put back into their garden again. Great effort, guys. Great effort.